We're taking a look at the 2021 Trek Verve 2. This is the middle of the Trek Verve lineup, and it's a brand new frame and design for 2021. It's a pretty exciting new comfort hybrid with disc brakes, lots of tire, and a very comfortable position. So we're going to go into some of the features and designs of these two bikes, as well as check out what they weigh. But before we do that, make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way you can see more videos like this in the future, as well as let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below while we're going through these bikes. So let's go ahead and check them out. So the Verve series is what's considered a comfort hybrid. And what a comfort hybrid is it's basically an upright position hybrid that still has the capability of doing some, more fitness style rides. It's got the ability to ride with the kids. It's got the ability to go on a crushed gravel path. Basically any of those things you might do with a fun hybrid. Now, Trek has 3 different models in their hybrid series. They've got their FX series. The FX is what's considered a fitness hybrid, so it kind of draws from a road bike as far as speed and performance, but it adds in the ability to commute on the bike, be able to put racks and fenders and stuff like that on it. And then they've got the Dual Sport series. And the Dual Sport is a combination of an entry-level mountain bike and a hybrid. So it's got thinner tires than a mountain bike does, but it's got front suspension and performance to be able to go off-road or on gravel and dirt paths, and it kind of combines those together. And what's neat about the Verve is because it's got large tires, it can do a little bit of everything, but it prioritizes comfort. And to be able to get comfortable on the bike, it's got a shorter reach, which is from the saddle to the handlebar. Basically, the reach of the bike is going to be a little bit shorter, so you're not stretched out onto the bike. And stack, which is the height of the front end of the bike, is going to be much taller than, say, a fitness or that dual sport style hybrid. And what that allows for is a position that is much more upright. It's got your weight a little bit further back, and it makes for a super comfortable ride. Now, Trek does a couple of neat things with the bike. So this has their Alpha Gold aluminum. So you've got nice aluminum frame, you've got internal cable routing, you've got a beautiful look to this bike. And then they run an aluminum fork. Now, the fork being aluminum and solid means that it's going to be much lighter than comfort bikes that you see with a suspension fork. And contrary to popular belief, the suspension forks on comfort bikes really don't do all that much. Because your positioning is so far back and you're in a much more upright position, you don't have anywhere near as much weight on the front end of the bike. So what Trek has decided to do is put on these giant 700 by 45C width tires. They're still slick and smooth, so that way it's going to roll fast on the road, but you can see they're a much wider setup. You even got a little more clearance if you wanted to, and that allows the tire to do the shock absorption rather than having to do a shock in the front. The other neat thing with that is on the Verve 2, it's going to have a suspension seat post. So that's going to have some give as you're going. That's a nice upgrade over the Verve 1. And the other piece for comfort that's an upgrade over the Verve 1 is going to be the stem. So this is an adjustable stem. You can basically angle that up or forwards based on the position, just where you want it, get it a little more upright if that's your kind of thing. The other neat thing is on the 2021s, they've got this super low step frame. So the older generation used to have sort of a bar that would go across there on a low step. This is even lower, which means the height that's required to be able to pick your leg up to go over is much shorter than you would expect. It's going to help out with mobility issues, or if you're running a rack or a child seat, stuff like that on the bike. So speaking of which, the back end of the bike is set up where it's got rack mounts, it's got fender mounts to it, and a thing I really like is it also has a cafe lock, or one of these wheel locks. So you can get a lock that mounts underneath that loops around the wheel, so that when you stop at the convenience store or you're out on a bike path and you want to take a picture and you just don't want the bike to roll away, you can have an integrated lock that keeps the bike from riding away. On the topic of safety and security there, this is where the disc brakes come in. So the Verve series, all of them for 2021 have disc brakes, but the Verve 2 has some Tektro hydraulic disc brakes. And what a hydraulic disc brake does is it's going to be lower maintenance than a traditional mechanical disc. It also takes the braking surface away from the rim. So if you hit a bump and slightly bend your wheel or stuff like that, it's not going to keep you from being able to get home. And then of course, if you're riding with a trailer or a rack with, your picnic gear, extra weight on the bike, you don't have to worry about its ability to stop. For a drivetrain, the bike is running an Altus 3x8 drivetrain. So you've got an Altus rear derailleur, you've got an HG31 8-speed cassette, and then up front, you're gonna have a 3x crankset with these Bontrager satellite pedals, which are set up for just a standard set of shoes. So all you gotta do is basically just get on the bike to roll. The tires we talked about are the wide 700 by 45s, but these are Bontrager H5 comp tires. So this is a wire bead tire. It's got good flat protection to it, and it looks pretty nice on the bike. And then you're gonna have the Bontrager Boulevard saddle. This has tons of cush, little cutout, so that way it relieves some pressure. And then the cockpit is gonna be set up with this almost M-shaped bar. So the bar shape here is going to have a little bit of sweep back to it, so you don't have your wrist wrenched in any direction. Kind of goes on nice and natural. So now that we've taken a look at some of the features of these two Trek Verve 2s, let's go ahead and find out what these bikes weigh. The actual weight of the Trek Verve 2 is going to come in and weigh 29.54 pounds. Thanks for watching this video on the Trek Verve 2. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Love to know what you think about both the comfort series of bikes out there, as well as how do these Trek Verves stack up in the comfort bikes that are available. While you're at it, be sure to leave a thumbs up. It lets me know that you enjoyed the video, and definitely don't forget to subscribe. That way you can see more videos like this into the future.